Hello there, wrestling fans! And welcome to another episode of Dudes at Ringside Podcast, because we are internationally known. And now introducing to the mic, my partner in crime, the Happy Heel himself. And welcome once again, the other half of nywc Week, the Metal Geek.
Welcome to the Ringside Crew. How's it going, everyone? I'm the Metal Geek. I'm your host. This is my other co-host, Joe the Panther Jr. So we have a special guest, Joe. Do you want to introduce him?
Yes, we do. I'm totally going to introduce him. Okay, fans, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the former nywc ring announcer and also former person from the Long Island Ducks, Jason Linnick. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, wait. I forgot something.
I'm good.
There we go. Now it's official.
You got the Dudes at Ringside shirt, and we got the Dudes at Ringside hat now. So there you go.
Got it from a cousin from Long Island. Thanks. So, yeah. Welcome to Dudes at Ringside, Jason. So, what was one of your inspirations on becoming a ring announcer?
So, I've always been a wrestling fan my whole life, although I will admit I stopped watching during the Attitude Era, which is like the best time of wrestling. But like I said, I've always been a wrestling fan, and I went to school for broadcasting, so I just kind of thought like the two worlds kind of mixed together. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Your turn.
And,
Yeah. What is your favorite match of all time? You'd say.
Favorite match of all time. For as much flack as the Ultimate Warrior gets, I'm going to give you an Ultimate Warrior match that not a lot of people talk about. Ultimate Warrior Macho Man, SummerSlam 1992 from Wembley Stadium.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it's the whole whose corner is Mr. Perfect in. To me, I feel like that match doesn't get talked about enough. I ends up getting fired too long after that for the second time. But I remember to be alive as a kid, and I still think it holds up. So I'm going to say Ultimate Warrior Macho Man, SummerSlam 1992.
I don't know if you've ever seen this before, Jason, but did you ever remember the SummerSlam DVD package they had?
Yeah, I know WWE's put out stuff like that before.
Yes, I actually have. I only got the one part of it because my FYE, that's when I had. They had the 80s to the 90s one, and I got that one. And for a while, in the beginning of the pandemic, I religiously watched the 1987 to 92 one. And I remember at the end, I was like, wow, I forgot these two fought at this SummerSlam. I was like, huh?
Yeah. It's because it's not the main event. I think it gets overshadowed by that Bulldog in the main event for the Intercontinental title. So I think that's really the match everybody remembers from that pay-per-view.
Yeah, people forget that I'm Mr. Old School to pay-per-view. We start talking about old pay-per-views, and then Metal Geek starts rolling his eyes going, Joe's so freaking old.
I'm more of I like the newer stuff. Like I'm more of a New Japan guy, Ring of Honor. I like a lot of the independent stuff. So that's me. Joe's Mr. Old School. So.
Okay.
Yeah, certified old school.
Yeah.
Get it from my grandfather. I'm a third generation, so everybody's like I should have. That's why there's 3 R's, because I'm the third generation. The third generation.
Three time.
Have you been keeping up with the wrestling today, or?
I watch a lot of AEW. Ring of Honor, and I'll try to keep up with like Ring of Honor and Impact like through their YouTube channels. But WWE, I really only watch their pay-per-views now. Their product
a lot of people, it's bad, right?
It's bad. I mean, Monday Night Raw is on right now, and like if 10 years ago, I would have been, oh, I'm missing Raw, but now Could
lot of
not
people,
care less.
a lot of people have said to us, your show is more entertaining than Raw. So I'm like,
It's funny.
yeah. So we try to keep it. They'd rather watch us than watch Monday Night Raw. To be honest,
I have an interesting question for you, Jason. Who is your favorite wrestler to announce? Like, out of all the ones you've announced when you were there.
Favorite wrestler to announce? I always had fun announcing Tony Nese. I've always had fun announcing him because if you guys know the ring announcer that was before me, Larry Legend, he's a really big name on the indies, does a lot of promotions.
I think he's in Ring of Honor.
He always used to really emphasize. He was with Ring of Honor. He's not there anymore. He was doing CZW. I'm not sure what else Larry is up to these days, but he always used to really like stretch out Tony Nese's name. Anthony, like he'd really just let it go. So I always tried to one up him when announcing these, and I'd be like, the premier athlete, Anthony. I just try to hold it as long as I could, and then really emphasize knees. That one was always fun.
Uh-huh.
I think.
As far as
Okay.
Sorry, keep going, Jason. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was wondering if you were the biggest name I've announced. I'd say I did Hawkins when he was on the Indies for a little while. I did a show for a promotion, Firebar. I don't think they're around anymore. They pop up every now and again, but I announced him. I did a Mama Luke from the FBI and Nunzio. FBI had come to NYWC, and I did them. Those are probably the biggest ones I've done.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Geeky, you next.
Hold on. How did you get involved with the NYWC?
This is a really good question. So we'll rewind a little bit. So I've been going to NYWC just as a fan, nothing crazy. And then for Halloween, a year or two later, I was the WWE sign, the WWE sign guy, Rick. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but he wears the blue shirt and the red hat. And he always sits like front row. You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was him for Halloween one year. I was the guy that designed his shirt, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be Rick for Halloween. So he sent me the design, and I made my sign guy shirt. And I decided to start going to NYWC as their sign guy. So I would make signs for all the guys, and I would sit front row, and I would just be the biggest pain in the butt. I don't know if I can curse on here, so I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
Pain in the butt to every. Okay, it's a huge pain in the ass to all the guys. I would try to get involved in the show, even though I wasn't, because I wasn't the ring announcer at this point. So I was just, full on, like, if there was an NYWC show, I was there. I had signs. At one point, you know what a vuvuzela is? It's those really annoying soccer horns. They're, like, really long.
Yeah.
At one point. Yeah, they blow them at soccer games like FIFA soccer. I brought one of those to a show one time, made a bunch of noise. I would just go wild. So then one day, I was like, I really want to be their ring announcer. Like, it's been fun to be a sign guy, but I really want to be their ring announcer. So I started a petition online and just started sharing it all over social media. Like, hey, make me your ring announcer. And I would still do the shows as sign guy. And then one day they needed a ring announcer for a show, and they called me and they were like, hey, will you come out and be our ring announcer? So that was my first show. And I sign guy thing, and then after a while, Larry was stepping away. I think that's when he was leaving to go to Ring of Honor, and I became their full-time guy.
We actually have a question. Actually, when do you think NYWC is coming back?
When do I think NYWC is coming back? Hopefully soon. I know they did a lot of really cool stuff with the pandemic. They had a tournament online. They've been posting some YouTube content. I think it all depends as far as some really cool stuff they were putting together. I was really happy to see doing that. By the end of the year, I don't know 100% for sure, but I guess as COVID restrictions start to loosen up, because I don't know if either one of you have been to the Sportatorium. Metal Geek, you said you have. I don't know if you have, Joe. The NYWC Sportatorium is kind of a tight venue. So I guess, they'd have to consider social distancing and all that stuff. And plus it all depends, 6 now. So hopefully by the end of the year is going to be my guess, but I don't know 100% for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we had Orlando on the show, and Paul was in the comments, one of his friends, and he said that NYWC would be doing an outdoor venue. He said something like that during the summer.
That makes sense. I could see them starting with that.
But
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
makes sense. They've done a couple outdoor shows before at a couple firehouses.
I don't know how true it is though. So
I would love to go.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I'm hoping an outdoor venue would be a good place during summer. You know, when I was back with them, they typically did run a couple outdoor shows at some local firehouses and stuff like that. So hopefully, I actually had a show one time at a paintball field. That was cool.
I was going to say, after the show, I know you just did the awesome announcement. Maybe you could send a sound thing to Metal Geek on your on Facebook of you doing like announcing us, like coming down.
Yeah, I could definitely.
At a total combined weight of you have no idea. Like you would like like almost like for heels, like none of your business. Like, at a total combined weight.
Exactly. At a total weight of wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, a total combined weight of
kind of like I love the orange.
Yeah,
what's up?
I love the Orange Cassidy intro from wherever, whatever.
Yeah,
freshly squeezed.
Orange Cassidy. Do it like that. The total combined with your announcer. You. I know you'll make it sound amazing.
Asking if you have any pets.
There we go. Pet talk.
It's a pet friendly. We're friendly.
Do I have any? Yes, I have a dog named Autumn. She's a Dachshund Terrier mix. We rescued her. And we rescued her the year my wife and I got married. We rescued a dog.
Aw. We have two wiener
dogs. I'm a
dogs.
dog person. No cats.
We have two Dachshunds we rescued. Actually, my sister's dog we rescued for him, and Honey we rescued her from Long Island from a house that was like a rescue. They got her from a house that was like full of wiener dogs. It was bad. Bad.
Oh jeez.
Yes, it was on the news.
Yeah.
It was that kind of like, oh no.
Yeah, my girlfriend's parents have a dog. That's in the that was in the comments right now. That screen.
Oh, okay.
That was their dog.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Donna. Let me see if I can find a picture of my dog. Here she is.
See if I can see it. Ah, that's cute. Dog. That's cute. It's like I have a cat that acts like a dog.
Yeah. I have a dog that's a bully.
Yeah, sometimes my dog does stuff like that too. She'll perch up on like the armrest of the couch, or she'll like perch herself on top of the couch looking out the window. So sometimes we like to say that my dog is pretending to be a cat. So it's like the total opposite of that commenter.
Yeah, I joke with my mom saying that Honey thinks she's a cat because she's laying on the couch with my mom all the time, like lays there a long way, like laying there, and I'm like, she's playing dead. She's like, don't say that.
Have you watched Double or Nothing, or have you watched Double or Nothing recently?
I had a couple guys over. We had I watched it live. Yeah.
What do you think?
Love it. AEW always delivers on pay. Always. I mean, some of the matches on there you probably could have squeezed onto Dynamite, but I guess you got to fill the show somehow. But really good show. Really good show. Got my
the Young Bucks
stole the show as always.
I remember me and him were in Hammerstein Ballroom. We were watching
Riley. See the guy Riley? He is a wrestler in the United Kingdom.
He's watching our show, actually.
He's a wrestler.
You're all good. So,
okay.
Oh, wait. Here we go. You're a ring announcer, Jason. You should announce his name.
Riley Measures. That's his name.
Where's he from?
It's London, England, right? Yeah, from London, England.
All right. Introducing first from London, England, Riley Measures.
There you go, Riley. You just got an announcer's announce.
There you go.
He's gonna be like, guys.
We'll even make a clip of it if you want and put it on.
Oh
our
yeah, we
Instagram.
gotta do that. Do that. That's good. And then you'll get now you're gonna get pinked.
That was good though too.
From the aisle, from London, England, Riley Measures.
It's a really good fake. Gallows does a really good fake
Growing up
impression.
going to Madison Square Garden, Jason, it just stuck in my head. You know, it just stuck in my head, and my I even hear him. I hear him like in my head. I have to wake up in the morning. Joe, you have to get up to go to work. Shut up, Frank. And my favorite one he ever said is
it's such an
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, like when I grew up going to Madison Square Garden and he comes down the aisle and he comes in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Madison Square Garden. How's everybody doing tonight? Are you ready for the opening contest? And here we go. Boom. And now the opening contest. It's always something. My favorite, my first ever opening show I ever went to at the Garden. The opening contest, everybody says, wow, that's such a great first match. It was Haku versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. It actually is on the network. Yeah, that was because Steamboat, they both have that slick style of movements. But it's funny that my dad taped it. And I don't know where it started. It always starts out with Haku with having Steamboat in a sleeper hold, and I was like, oh, I guess that's how the show started. I guess that's how they started the footage. My friend let me borrow the network at the beginning, and I found the show. I was looking through trying to find all the footage, find the match. Don't want to see the old show that I was at. And it starts out with the I was like, my childhood has just been scarred. I thought this show started out for them doing a sleeper hold. My parents, I guess, set the video like 10 minutes late. And I'm like, you mean the show didn't start out with Steamboat in a sleeper hold? Oh my God, childhood ruined. Every time ruined. I would be like, oh man. I was wondering my friends are always laughing at me. Yeah. So what was like your first wrestling match you ever went to? Like, what was the first show you ever went to as a kid?
Crazy enough, I didn't go to any shows as a kid. My first show that I ever went to was the Royal Rumble that John Cena came back at in 2000. What was that, 2008?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I never went to a show as a kid. I don't know why. I don't know if my parents just didn't think to take me or didn't think I'd be interested. I don't know. I have no idea. But the first show I ever went to live was the Royal Rumble that John Cena came back at in 2008. And oddly enough, so I got into the city a little bit before the show, and I was hanging out at the Sbarro Pizza around the corner from the Garden. And my friend that I was with, we were just talking to some other fans that were at the pizza place, and we're like, oh, who's going to win? One guy jokingly said, he goes, John Cena's going to come back and win. And all of us laughed in this guy's face. And then John Cena came back and won.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
I will never forget that. I'll never get, because he was pretty injured, I'm pretty sure, at the time. He had suffered a pretty significant injury, so everybody was like, no, John Cena. And he came back and won at number 30.
Wasn't that when he hurt his chest? Didn't Randy Orton RKO him on the table?
Yeah, rotator cuff, I think, is what I think that's what it was. Because I remember him pointing to his shoulder and doing the okay thing, and the whole. I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
Yeah. Yeah,
you're right. It was an RKO announce table. I forget how many months prior to that it happened. It was not out that long at all.
I remember that. Maybe. I was like, I'm like, because they made like a blooper thing on YouTube saying, oh, the table didn't break, but Cena got hurt. That's what they always say. They always say that.
Yeah.
He got hurt, but this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, the other people that we're having actually. You'll be our second, you'll be our first announcer, and we're gonna have another announcer from a federation in California, from OCC.
Oh, cool.
OCCW, named Rainey, the ring announcer, and oh my gosh, Like your thing was cool. You caught me off guard. I thought you were some random guy just tagging us, and then I realized then Geeky sent me the video, and I was like, "Oh, that's who that guy was! Oh my god!"
You don't know him, Joe? Come on.
I was like, I don't know, because I have a lot of people supporting us. Like, there's a random guys that'll send like a video. There's one guy he's a Twitch person, and he sent hi, my name is blah blah blah, and I'm a gamer, and you're watching Dudes at Ringside Podcast. Like, I'm like, are we supposed to save this and put this on the podcast? Is he trying to audition? Are you auditioning for us or something? What? Yeah. Hey, Craig.
Yeah, no, I'm just a regular everyday guy.
Yeah, I got. No, you're.
What's going on, Craig?
It's Craig. Is your friend Craig?
Yeah, no, I'm nobody special. I never thought that. Even when because I was doing the Ducks thing before nywc happened, and like I'd get recognized kind of from both of them, but it was never like I used to joke with my wife that I was a Long Island celebrity, and she'd be like, "No, you're not."
Craig's asking how the family is. How's the family?
How's the family? Family is good. Family is good. Everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. Ask for the same for guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
My favorite calls on Taz from the War Rumble versus Angle.
2000 X debut. That's a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody kind of knew Taz was coming in anyway, but yeah, his intro of Taz, the Garden just exploding. That's a good one.
I know this is not an announcer, but I mean, one of my favorite calls were probably when Kenny Omega won the title in New Japan. I don't know if you
when he finally beats Okada, yeah.
When he finally beats Okada, like you hear Don Callis yelling at the top of his lungs, hook the leg, at the top of his lungs, and he's like absolutely going crazy. And he goes, three. That place was nuts. Yeah.
One of our biggest fans, Barada, said Taz cheated. He used chokehold. Good Angle fans, they always have to do that, don't they? He didn't.
Do you get recognized in like supermarkets and stuff, or
More so when I used to do it, because I haven't done NYWC for a while. I stepped away from the Ducks a couple of years ago. I'd get it more when I'm working for them. Like I'd be on the phone. There was one time I was walking to a Walmart and I was talking on the phone, I think, with my wife, and I was walking, and a family stopped me and they're like, "I'm sorry, are you the guy?" So I used to get that, and then I was at a brewery one time with some friends and I was walking to get some drinks, and the people in the bar recognized me and they stopped and asked to take a picture with me. So I used to get stuff like that, like I said, when I worked for them, really, but not so much anymore. Unless people happen to like know, like if I'm at a signing or something and people know me or see me somewhere, I might still get it, but it hasn't happened for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have signed a couple of autographs.
It was fun to sign autograph. Like I'm telling this to Geek, I said, once this thing starts blowing up, when we start going to, here we go. I'll stop. We'll have the questions. Craig has another question.
AEW, WWE, AEW all the way.
Don't ask me that because I'll just say
all the way. I'm sorry. Yeah. WWE needs to fix all things, and I know a lot of people have said like, "Oh, when crowds come back, things will be better." No, that's not going to fix it. No.
I feel like I'm not missing much on Raw right now.
They have a lot of things to fix.
We did this show early. I think we did a good idea. And it's funny, like now that we are scheduled like we have it, like almost every week we have a guest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we used to, when we first started the show, we just started like reviewing Raw and say, "Hey, what happened on Raw this week?" We just try to pick out things, and then we're like, nothing really happened.
Yeah. So first, it's funny.
Exactly.
We actually had Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat on the show, but that's when we used a different service for the show, and it makes me so mad. Geek couldn't get the clip and put it on Spotify. I'm like, ugh.
You mean the actual show?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm working on that actually. So still a work in progress. Stay tuned, fans. It's a work in progress.
Oh, hey, I was gonna ask if Geek can't do it, I mean, a friend can get the video and put it on for us.
What do you think of Cardona's GCW surprise? Greatest crowd reaction ever.
Loved it. Greatest crowd reaction, probably greatest crowd lately. But I loved it. Loved it. I'm very interested to see. I'd like to go to the show. Deathmatch thing. Really, deathmatch like my cup of tea. I mean, I definitely respect Nick Gage for everything that he does. His Dark Side of the Ring documentary was awesome. Seems like a really cool dude. But I think awesome to answer Marauder's question. Awesome. Making wrestling interesting again.
I still think my favorite reaction is the Johnny Gargano win at the Barclays Center when he won the title.
That's a good one. I also think Adam Cole's debut at Barclays.
Yeah.
When he attacks Drew McIntyre after he wins the title. That's another good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like you had, like he just debuted, and he's standing there at the top of the ramp. He yells, "Adam Cole, baby!" You see 30,000 people saying it. Like unreal.
I had one for Geek.
I would say I had my doubts they were going to let him.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, I was going to say I had my doubts they were going to let him do the whole baby. WWE likes to, do their own thing and not let people do their thing. So I was very, very happy that they did that. Not happy they broke up Undisputed Era, but I guess
that was stupid. That was so stupid. They're like the best. I know that stable makes them a lot of money. Well, the merch they have.
Exactly.
Like, oh, here we go, Jason. I have a funny one. Yeah. What would if if Adam Cole owned a bakery? You know what it would be? Adam's Rolls, baby.
Classic.
It gets geek every time. Gets geek every time.
We got a question from the audience. Craig wants to know: are you spending the money for Sting at Wrestling Universe?
So for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, the Wrestling Universe, a store here in New York and Queens, is having Sting, or as Tony Schiavone would say, it's Sting. They're charging $200 to meet Sting. I will not be paying $200 to meet Sting. No, thank you.
Or the former WCW ring announcer would say, "This is Sting." I'm sitting down. It doesn't come out right.
Oh yeah, was that Michael Capetta? I think was the.
He's my other favorite ring announcer.
I said to Joe, I sent him a text message. Hey, Joe, you want to come?
Gary Michael Capetta.
Oh, I met him at an ROH show, and I had him say the name that I used in every one of my 2K games, Kid Crazy. Oh, that's another name that I've always wanted to hear a ring announcer say, because that would have been my wrestling name. It would have been Jose Quinones. That would have been Kid Crazy. But I've always wanted to hear a ring announcer say, can you do it? You have to say, coming down the aisle from Central Islip, Long Island. Wait, coming down the aisle from Central Islip, Long Island, Kid Crazy. Wait, let's hear it.
No, but anyway, I was going to say, Joe.
Coming down the aisle.
Like, let him do it. I want to hear
it. Coming down the aisle from Central Islip, New York, this is Kid Crazy.
Oh my God! Yay! It happened.
You said Ring of Honor just a minute ago. I love their ring announcer, Bobby Cruz.
Bobby Cruz. He's one of my favorite ring announcers. You know.
Love Bobby Cruz. I got to meet him. He's great. Good guy.
My original name for the show before I was started to be Joe Panther Jr., I was going to be Kid Crazy. But my mom, every time she would see the name on the PlayStation, she'd go, you got to change that name. That's horrible. You're not crazy. And I'm like, the reason why I'm Kid Crazy is my guy always does crazy stunts. Like he'll do hardcore matches. He'll do falls count anywhere. He doesn't care. He's crazy. You know, my original phrase with him is, I'm just crazy. Like, you're going to laugh.
Living the gimmick, brother.
Yeah. You're going to, right before Carlito came out, I would always talking like this. I'm Kid Crazy, you know? And then Carlito came out. I'm like, you stole my gimmick.
That's gimmick infringement.
Yes. We had another friend that happened to, but we're not going to drop it. Yeah. Do you have any stories from the road from NYWC?
That you could tell?
Not really. Yeah. I don't have anything bad to say, but I love NYWC. I love my time there. Great guys. My first show was out in Long Beach, New York. It was pretty far. Like I said, that was my first show. That was pretty cool. Oh, amazing that show. That was pretty cool. Got to announce him. But no, I would just, I'd show up to the sportatorium, hang out with all the guys, get everybody's information. I actually just recently, I'm sitting in my basement. I finished my basement not too long ago, and I found a stack of index cards, like all my announcer cards. I would print the NYWC logo on the one side that was blank, and then the other side with the lines, I'd write everybody's information. Most of it I had memorized after, a while, because the roster doesn't change that often. But actually just recently threw that all away. It was a big stack of cards like this.
Wow. That's crazy.
That was always fun. Yeah. Yeah, Larry had the iPad. I didn't use the iPad. I was note cards.
Uh-huh.
Yay. It got into the...
I was in a couple matches.
Yeah.
Wait, you were?
I was in Battle Royals. I'm just Battle Royals. So we would do, like I said, we would do shows at local firehouses to raise money for the firehouse. So they would always, they'd have whoever was just in the Battle Royal. They just threw everybody in. And then there would always be a surprise. Like as I was announcing, I would go to leave, and like the management from NYWC would come out, and then they would add me to the match as a surprise. The crowd would just go like, "Oh my god!" And then I would immediately get thrown out. Like they'd add me, they'd add the referees to the match. Pretty much, it was like I was trapped in the ring. So when I would try to leave, they'd be like, "No, you're in the Battle Royal." So then I would just get knocked over the top rope. I think I was in 3 Battle Royals, and I didn't win any of them.
What did the winners get? Do they get a title shot or a...
Oh yeah, so if it was like one of our shows at the Sportatorium, the winner would probably be like, number 1 contender or something like that. But usually the Firehouse shows was just, just for fun.
Yeah.
Just a good way to start the card, just get everybody.
Yeah. So Friday's show, we have Dickie Rods.
Coming out show.
Oh, I remember Dickie Rods. Yeah, he was in a tag team with, what was the...
Mason Rage.
Nicky Adams. They were... Well, yeah, but when I was with them, I was a tag team with Nicky Adams, and they were the Rack Sack Connection.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to ask him about that one. That was some good theme song. The crowd was into it. They were fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
come on, geek, get on your feet, brah. And I'm the face, and he's the heel. I'm right every time.
What's some of your favorite food?
Favorite food? I'm a big barbecue person. I love barbecue. I like to grill myself. I also like to go out and eat barbecue. Definitely some good barbecue. Pizza. I live in New York, so of course the pizza is delicious.
Who do we tell pizza about? We were talking to pizza about someone.
Tamaku. We've had 2 female wrestlers online, but they're from the United Kingdom wrestlers. We had Kiara, which she wants the pizza, and she also likes what's that Sloppy Joe's. Yeah. And it's like, and after the show, 2 days later, Geek was harassing me. Joe, if she comes, how are we gonna find the Sloppy Joe place? I don't know what we're gonna do. I said, Danielle can just get a mix. We can just get a mix and just. Oh wait, here we go. My question is regarding Craig's question. What was your favorite Psycho Circus when you were there?
Oh, favorite Psycho Circus. Those matches were always fun to announce. That was always like our WrestleMania of the year. So Tim and Larry had been away for the. I want to say the year that it may not make sense, but they typically bring Larry in to do the show with me. I dress up in a tuxedo. It was like a huge thing. And year the finals came down to it was Team Big O versus Team Stockade, and I believe that's who it was. And I could be wrong, but Big O power slammed somebody or got power slammed through the stage. There was that one, or Stockade took one of the other competitors, Michael Mansfield. This was a couple years before that, and they speared him through the wall, the dressing room area, speared him through the wall. That was pretty cool.
Me and Joe actually went to a Psycho Circus. The one
I think it was two.
We went to two. Yeah, we went to two. I think we went to the one where Mason Rage went through the stage. That wasn't Deal Park. That was
Our friend Under Feet always brings that up anytime somebody from NYWC is on the show. He always goes.
So you remember the stage? He went
right the stage trick. That was like, yeah, we all remember that feat.
And then there was the one where Damien did the side effect off the top of the ladder through the table. He actually told us a story about that. He said that was actually
that's cool.
He told us that was a real table. Like that was not a prop table.
Cool.
They made a mistake and they actually put a real table in the ring, and instead they messed it up and they were supposed to get the prop table, but they used a real table. And he told Spider, he's like, Spider, this is gonna hurt really bad. As he did the side effect.
As Foxy, a pregnant Foxy, standing outside in the hallway with her hands on her hips, aside. And Damien's just like, sorry, as he goes down, and he has a bruise from his knee all the way to his hip, but to his hip, right? Geek, or was it past?
Yeah.
And they were both like, because she's pregnant and he's beat up, and they're all like, in the bed after the night after the show. Oh my god.
No, but that was one of the stories he told us about the Psycho Circus. So if you had any stories about Psycho Circus, you could share them.
Yeah, like I said, it was definitely getting slammed through the stage. The other one was Stockade speared Mansfield through the wall. I don't think there's any other crazy ones. Those are the two that jump to mind to me. Yeah, that's about as crazy as it gets. I did see somebody ask in the comments if I went to the G1 at Madison Square Garden. I did go to the G1 at Madison Square Garden. Yes.
That show
I was very
awesome.
upset the Young Bucks weren't there. That was a very good show. It was very cool to see Okada, Jay White in person like that. Probably never would. Like I said, the Young Bucks and Cody and Kenny were not on that show because they had left to start at AEW, but AEW hadn't started, just not there. So I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see the Young Bucks at Madison Square Garden, but still an awesome show. Really cool. I actually went with Todd and a couple of guys. Really cool show. I'm glad I had the chance to do that.
Yeah, Todd's a cool guy. Shout out to Todd.
Yeah, shout out to Todd. He's probably at a bar drinking somewhere. Big beer enthusiast.
we also had Orlando from the Shark on our show too.
Oh, I love Orlando. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was trying to get him to do like a subtle promo.
Yeah, I've seen if you remember Tommy Dreamer's promotion, House of Hardcore. I'm not sure if that's still running. They had done a couple of shows here on the island in Orlando. I'd done some announcing for them, and I've seen him make some appearances like when WWE comes to town, because he works for the radio station 94. Seen him at stuff like that, and he did some Ducks games with me. So very familiar. Orlando's a great guy.
Do you stay in touch with anyone from NYWC or?
From time to time, I do. If you guys know who Mike Mondo is, he was He was Mikey in the Spirit Squad. He's a local Long Island guy. He used to come to a lot of Ducks games. Him and I will chat every now and again. And one of the old referees, Forge, once in a while. So not too much, but a little bit.
I was like telling if
I guess
if we want to come back to Long Island, we should all get together and have some pizza and hang out.
Do the pizza podcast.
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah, you're gonna get pizza. This is the place to do it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can give us some
Like that.
good
There's your
ideas.
spin-off Dudes at Pizza podcast.
Yeah, we can hang out and have pizza, talk shop.
And Ty will join us, all right?
Yeah, he's got to drop you a
Yeah.
sticker because I live in PA, so I would have to mail it to you, and you probably get you like next year. So my mail where I live in Pennsylvania, parts I like to say parts unknown Pennsylvania. The mail is a little dumb here, so we'll get there eventually.
I feel like that's everywhere, especially holidays this past holiday season. But I think between the pandemic and stuff, the mail was so slow.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite tag team, Jason, or well, Young Bucks, all right?
Well, of course, the Bob's there.
Enough said. They're the best. They're the team in the world. Young Bucks, hands down.
I'm sorry to say I had to say
Definitely.
FTR is the best. FTR.
I liked them more in WWE as the Revival, and then when they came to AEW and they had their big match with the Bucks, it was awesome. And now it's just done. Like we don't get more than one. It's just done. I was waiting for this match. I was waiting for it. We got it, and it's just done.
I think they should have
waited. See it again. But I
think they should just. I'm sorry. I think they should have waited like a little bit to like have at least 20,000, 30,000 fans there to get the reaction that they should have got.
I think that match would have been definitely better than a bigger crowd.
Not saying it was a bad match.
It was a bad match, you know. Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, it got the tag titles onto the Young Bucks. It kind of, jumped us off to where we are now. But I guess with them being heels and FTR being involved in the Pinnacle, you can't really have them fight each other right now. But I'd like to see it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have 10 people in the chat right now. So thanks for the support, everybody. Thank you so much, by the way. Just want to thank that.
And speaking of FTR, some of their stuff from NXT, I mean, them with American Alpha, them with Gargano and Ciampa, like they were doing top guys doing top guy things in NXT. And as usual, WWE has no idea what to do with their talent, any talent at all. So let's just release them.
MJF was in NYWC, I believe, right?
Yeah, so he's from Hawkins School, Create a Pro. I did announce for him a couple times, and the weird thing is, I don't know if anybody else notices this. He changed his name because when I worked with him on the Indies, he was Maxwell Feinstein. Now he's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. So I don't know where the change happened. I didn't get that. Like I said, when I announced him a couple times, he was Maxwell Jacob Feinstein. He was still MJF, but Maxwell Jacob Feinstein is how I knew him originally. But yeah, he from Create a Pro, which is, like I said, Hawkins School. But he did some NYWC stuff.
Well, I think he was there after, because I don't remember ever seeing an MJF on the roster. Actually, my fondest memory is the Psycho Circus, and also getting a chance to meet a WWF legend, the Warlord. I met him at an NYWC show.
Okay, yeah, that was probably before my time. So MJF was probably after your time.
I posted the picture on my Facebook. My cousin. Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, I always liked, one of the things I really loved about NYWC is the fact that they didn't have to rely on, at least not when I was there, they didn't seem to bring in too many legend top guys to draw people in. They were drawing the crowds in based on the roster they had with guys like, like I said, Stockade, Rex Lawless, Milk Chocolate, just, a couple of the names that jumped to mind as some of the really good talent that they had. Tony Nese, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Order.
Dark Order.
I always thought that was really cool that they didn't have to rely on, join the Dark Order. I thought that was cool that they didn't have to rely on, hoping that people would show up to be like, all right, please show up. Here's Kevin Nash. If you show up, here's Kevin Nash. No, we didn't need that. We had really good guys on the roster. mean, it was cool once in a while to bring in some special guys. Like, Mikey wrestled for us. Jerry Lynn came in here and there. Trent Beretta started there. He came back a little bit, chucked him through there. So, like, a lot of big names have come
Amazing
through there,
Red.
but it wasn't. Yep, Amazing Red has come through.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that was always one of the cool things about NYWC is like, yeah, they had those guys come in, but that wasn't the main draw. Everybody, well, it is still wrestling. That does not shock me.
It's sad. He's still. When I met him, I'm like 5'1", and I thought he was gonna take a picture of me, like like this. He just put his hands around my neck, and I'm just like, I didn't know what to do. I was so scared. I was like, he's gonna squeeze, and it's gonna be. Sorry.
What's your favorite type of music, Jason? By the way, favorite type of music.
Favorite type of music. So I'm not getting invited onto the show ever again when I tell you I love country music. I'm a country music fan.
You're the second one. Our last guest said that.
More of the metal geek.
Greatest manager said that. Uh-huh. Ooh, I got my funny.
Really, my name like metal geek, I never would have guessed.
I'm a mixed variety because I grew up in Central Islip. My dad's a DJ. I have a little hip hop.
Okay.
A little my theme song my theme song immediately would be a mix of the song by the gunshot, and it goes into Puerto Rico. Oh, Puerto Rico, oh, Puerto Rico, and then it goes to that's my song. My friend made me. He like mixed the song for me some reason, and
oh wow,
he the and then he had added my voice going, I'm just crazy. And then the song would start. And I'm just like, this is like mid 2000s editing. But he used a good song too. I was like, cool, you used the right song. Yay.
So, anyways, Doc Gator was on our show, and he told us that Victory Pro Wrestling is actually having a show on July 15th, and it's going to be the first show post-pandemic. So I looked it up, actually, and I'm like, wow. Tickets on sale now. So
get your tickets, guys.
Get your tickets.
I did see that. Yeah, definitely. Go out there, support your independent wrestling if it's coming back, whether in New York or wherever you are. Go support independent wrestling. Some good stuff out there.
Listen, you hear that? I'm not the only one that says it, fans. Our guest says it too.
The local.
Support your local wrestling federation. They need help, fans. They need your help.
Exactly, yeah. Go support your local indie federation. I can remember back when I was a sign guy, and I remember when the Yes thing first started kind of kicking off. I had printed out a bunch of Yes signs. I don't even think it really had kicked off as much as it did in WWE. Like, it was starting to heat up. So I remember I printed off a bunch of signs. I handed them out to everyone at the Sportatorium, and I made 3 posters, a giant and a giant S, and we chanted "Yes" all night with everything, and it just threw the whole show for a loop. Because, like I said, when I was the NWC sign guy, because I had so much like energy and like just madness, the crowd was like, I was like driving the crowd. So it was wild. I mean, I had guys like signs and tear them up and throw them at me. Like, it was. I kind of miss those days. But I guess, once you cross the railing into the ring, you can't go back to being the sign guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got one, Jason. So are you excited about tomorrow being Ghostbuster Day? What do you think we're going to get?
I want a new trailer. I want more Ghostbusters footage. I love the trailer they gave us. I love the footage they showed us of Paul Rudd with the mini Stay Puffs. I love all that, but I need another trailer. I need a trailer, and I need to know the release date's not going to be moved again.
I know.
Just give me the movie. How about that? You can announce it's coming to Tell me it's coming to HBO Max, and I will be so happy.
Well, if the movie comes to theaters, Jason,
because
I'll come to Long Island. We'll see it together. I'll wear the flight suit and everything. How about that for a possible surprise?
That sounds awesome. So
we'll all hang out. We'll go see the movie.
I need to see it a lot.
Yes.
When they re-released the original one in theaters, I'm sorry. So I was born in '87, so I wasn't old enough to see it when it originally came out in theaters, or I wasn't alive when it came out in theaters. So when they re-released it into theaters 2 years ago, I went and saw it, and it was. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times. I was telling you guys off the air, I had the Long Island chapter of the Ghostbusters at my wedding. They came and picked me up, brought me to the wedding. I got to wear the proton pack in my wedding photos. It was the greatest day ever.
It's awesome. As you know, I'm a
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbuster, Pike County, Pennsylvania. That's my logo right there. We actually started our franchise right around 2016, but I always say 2015 because it makes it sound cooler. Yeah. Yep. That one actually was made by a franchise. This logo was actually put together by a person from Australia. And they said, you want a new logo?
Australia.
Sure. Yeah, I was like, sure. What can you do for me? And they're like, what do you want? And I said, I want him because another Ghostbusters group kind of like gave me the oh no face and like, oh, your logo looks like our old logo. And I'm just like, okay, looking for Pike County shape. Can you make this red and put the ghost in the middle of it? We'll see what it could do. 2 hours later, bing. Is this what you wanted? Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you. And this lady that I work, oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, this was a dream come true. My wife had contacted them on Facebook because I had been trying to contact them to do a Ghostbusters related promotion at the Ducks. I wanted to do a Ghostbusters night at the Ducks, and I had sent them an email. They emailed their way, and they weren't responding. So I was like, well, this really stinks. My wife was like, oh, you should contact them on Facebook because that's how she reached out to them. She was like, hey, my husband's a really big Ghostbusters fan. I was only the second wedding they've ever done because they were like, well, normally we don't do weddings. And she was like, no, you don't understand. My husband loves Ghostbusters. She, meanwhile, does not like Ghostbusters. She hates it. She thinks it's really stupid.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
She's just, yeah. I told her, I was like, it was made in 1984. What do you want? It's good for the time. And she was like, no, it isn't.
I'd have to treat her
to get back to your.
I'd have to treat
her.
her.
Hoping for a new trailer. Maybe them telling us it's gonna.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun tomorrow. I'm gonna be wearing my my khaki Ghostbuster shirt and my Ghostbusters, maybe the franchise hat. I'm not too sure. Now Geek is like, oh man, it's turned. Actually, I do another YouTube chat. I do another.
Oh, Joe, we're losing the viewers, Joe. Come on, man.
I do another YouTube channel called Ghost Head Talk Podcast. You want to check that out when you're done. Also, we need the views.
So we need the Joe. You just turned into Ghostbusters, and everybody left now.
Oh,
It's dudes at ringside. It's not dudes at Ghostbusters.
Dudes at Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Besides Ultimate Warrior versus Macho, what was your other favorite old school Golden Era match?
Old school Golden Era match. See, I'm a big Ultimate Warrior fan, so my first reaction is to want to just say everything Ultimate Warrior. I think his match, also against Macho Man at WrestleMania 7, the career-ending match, I thought was really cool. His Ultimate Warrior, he doesn't really run to the ring. It's more serious of the whole storyline of Liz being in the crowd, coming out to save Macho. Sensational Sherry attacks him. I think that's a good one. Trying to think. Like I said, my gut reaction is to jump to Ultimate Warrior because he was my favorite as a kid. Macho and Fair from WrestleMania 8.
Oh, that was
classic. Classic. I'm going to say something a little controversial here. I'm going to tell you, Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3 is overrated.
Wow.
That match is not as good as everybody thinks it is.
Wow.
Yes, I've gotten a lot of flack for that. It's a good match. Don't get me wrong. It's a good match, but it is not as good as everyone thinks it is.
Oh, Ever So Spiffy wants to know if you're a Star Wars fan as well.
Pipe bomb.
Rut-row-roge, as I would say.
I do enjoy Star Wars, yes. Yes, I do like Star Wars. I'm not like huge into it. Like I'm not into backstories, like the stuff that's like the books that it's in canon, not like the Clone Wars cartoons, none of that kind of stuff. I tried to watch the Clone Wars cartoons. I'm really behind in it, but I do like all the main stories. The Mandalorian is really cool. I think I've upset some people about my Macho Man Steamboat comment I made, but
you lost our viewers.
Oh no!
It's not. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I also think that the Iron Man match between Braun is until it's 5 minutes.
Jason, I have to ask you.
Just yeah, what's up?
Are you an old school Ring of Honor fan, or like pre 2009, or like the older stuff, or
Well, I'd seen a little bit of it. 'Cause Punk got hot in WWE. I went back and watched some of like his old Ring of Honor, like with Joe and Bryan Danielson that he had done. But I didn't really get into Ring of Honor until it was like mixing with NJPW when it was like Book and Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like really got into it. I actually got out of it after the G1 because I kind of fell out of it after that. As far as like Ring of Honor, I still try to follow their stuff on YouTube. That's really the easiest way for me to keep up with it.
I think I fell out of it when
like Danhausen. You guys like Danhausen?
I heard of him, but I haven't seen him wrestle though. Everybody loves Danhausen for some reason. You know?
He's great. Check him out. He's like Conan O'Brien. If Conan O'Brien was a wrestler, that's the way he compares himself. He's great. Check him out.
All right, I gotta check.
Love that Danhausen.
But yeah, like when I was watching Ring of Honor back in 04, 05, we were seeing some of the best guys. We were seeing like CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Claudio Castagnoli, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Chris Hero, those guys. Seth Rollins was in Ring of Honor even back then. So when Danielson left,
Tyler Black. Yep.
When Danielson left, I think that's when we stopped watching because I'm like, damn it, Danielson's going to WWE now. Nigel's going to WWE. What are we going to do now? So those are two. Danielson was the heart of Ring of Honor right there, in my personal opinion. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to go back and watch some of that stuff. Like I've picked up, like when Ring of Honor has their DVD sales, I've picked up some other stuff and watch back. Like you were saying, Seth Rollins when he was Tyler Black. Go back and watch like Kevin Steen, El Generico. I've gone back and watched it. I didn't live it at the time.
But if you go to the wrestling universe, they actually have old school Ring of Honor DVDs, like the 04, 05 DVDs. I didn't know that, so
yeah, that story's great.
You just gotta ask them.
Love
You're like, I was like, wow. It's like I've never seen these DVDs in like 12 years, 13 years, whatever it was. Like, because those DVDs are all out of print. So that's for anyone in the comments. You guys got to check out the wrestling universe. There's like, I think there's 2 stores, one in Flushing and one in Comac. Actually, 3 now. There's one in Long Beach too. So
yeah, they're getting ready to open the Long Beach location. That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the store is great, by the way, Joe.
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to go to a WrestleMania?
I did. I've been to one WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania 28 in Miami.
Wow.
Yeah. Rock Arena, once in a lifetime. That wasn't once in a lifetime.
Twice in a lifetime.
I went to WrestleMania 28. Twice in a lifetime, yeah. I went to WrestleMania 28. The one I've been to. Everybody's got to go to at least one. At least one.
Yeah, Geek and I've been to 2. Geek's been to what? How many manias have you been to, Geek?
I went to 33, 34, and 35. And 34 is probably my all-time favorite WrestleMania to go to. Because it was in New Orleans. New Orleans is like one big giant party. It's like, even though the WrestleMania could have been bad, the actual trip was probably one of my favorite trips, going to New Orleans. So going down Bourbon Street
seem to do pretty good in New Orleans. I mean, they had only been there for 30, and then they went to back so soon for 34. So they were both very good.
Hopefully they go back. I'm hoping, because I'd go back to New Orleans for WrestleMania. But the tickets, let me tell you, if you're going to New Orleans for WrestleMania, the plane tickets are expensive, very expensive. So, just one point out there.
All right. Do you have, other than Ghostbusters, do you have a favorite 80s movie besides Ghostbusters?
Other than Ghostbusters?
I know, it's hard.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's a good one.
Well, that's another one I could quote over. There's another one I could quote over and over again.
Oh, I have another one that's 80s related. Are you into the Stranger Things series?
Yes, I do enjoy the Stranger Things series. Yes, excited for season. It's taken them a little while to get to season 4. So
yes, they do.
I do
yeah,
like,
actually,
yeah, I do like that.
They actually have
They
an
do have an
online
online
site.
site. Yeah.
Did you check out the trailer they did? I forgot when they released it, but everybody was. My dad said, "Oh, did you see the trailer?" I'm like, "No, what trailer?" They're like, Stranger Things. I was
For
like,
season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a little teaser type thing because I think they only just recently wrapped filming. I think it was just like a teaser to kind of keep everybody like interested. Because, like I said, it's been so long since season 3, so maybe they're trying to keep people's interest. Yeah, I saw it, and then that's me.
I thought it was Geek. I'm
I
like,
could have my dates. I got my dates wrong on here, but Groundhog Day. I don't think that's 80s. That might be early 90s. Maybe it is maybe late 80s, early 90s. But love Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, man. I mean, obviously Ghostbusters. But
you know what's funny? Jason, I actually watched that movie in the beginning of the pandemic. I watched it, and I got just to finish, and I finished watching it toward the middle of the pandemic. My mom's like, "You're watching this again?" I'm like, "Mom, it's Groundhog Day." And it was like I stopped working because I got scared, so I stopped working. So I was like, Groundhog Day. My mom's like, "We're not doing this again, Rainy. You're not staying in your pajamas all day." But it's Groundhog Day, Mom. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in a bubble. I'm stuck in a loop.
It's from 1993.
Yeah.
What's up?
I don't know if you've been following New Japan, but Shingo won the title this morning.
I did. I saw the results there online. Yeah, I haven't been following it too much. I don't like the new belt. I guess it's got to grow on me. But
it's the butterfly belt. A lot of people call it the butterfly belt.
Butterfly belt. Yeah, butterfly belt 2.0. I guess they got the old Divas belt on clearance or something and just redecorated it.
A lot of people were making fun when that belt first came out. A lot of people were making fun of it. They were saying it's Cody's neck tattoo and the Divas belt put together. So,
I did see that, but then everybody's making fun of the Universal title, and you know that's come a long way and it's grown on you. So you just got to give it a chance.
I don't know. I kind of think the belt looks cool though. When it was first released, I thought it was cool because it's basically, well, yeah, that's your opinion, New Media, but I think the belt looks cool because it's like the Intercontinental title, and it's like the IWGP World Championship merged together, which I think is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It kind of does look like that.
And I think they're gonna eventually what they're gonna do is I think the US title or the Neverweight title is gonna be like their secondary title.
Probably. Well, they have an Intercontinental title too, and they have Moxley's the United States champion, so they
not anymore.
They don't want to get too heavier, but I see what you're saying.
The Intercontinental title's merged.
Oh, that's right. It got absorbed. Yeah, that's right.
With the world title now, so
yeah,
it's the U.S. title is
probably. Yeah, I forgot
what
happened. You're right. Yeah,
the secondary title is now their Intercontinental title, I guess, or the Neverweight title, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because then you could give guys like Hiromu Takahashi a chance. You could give guys like Tajiri Ishimori, El Phantasmo, and they could go against heavyweights, which would actually be pretty cool to see on a bigger stage. Because a lot of those guys, they're talented, but they're not the weight limit of a heavyweight. So they could go for it. Would be and it opens the doors for fresh matches too. So
cool.
Actually, next Monday we're having a female wrestler come on the show. Was it next? Yeah, it's next Monday, Geek. Next Monday we're having a wrestler. She's from San Diego, California. Her name is Charisma.
I think I've seen the post on your guys' Instagram about it.
Yeah, Charisma, and then the following Monday, she hasn't done anything yet for us. Have you ever heard of what's her name? It's Lilith Grimm. Lilith Grimm.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
She's from OVW and Mountain Valley Wrestling.
Dolph Ziggler's cousin's coming on our show too.
Hey, Dolph Ziggler's cousin, AJ Ziggler.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's a current New Japan Strong guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I think isn't his brother in AEW? I think.
Yeah, his brother's in AEW. Yeah, Ryan. I think it's Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Ryan Nemeth, right?
Yeah, Ryan Nemeth. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Mox should drop that title. He's going to be
a
father
maybe.
soon. But yeah. Ryan Nemeth. He's in AEW right now. I don't know if he's signed. Is he or?
I don't know if he's signed. He's been making a bunch of appearances like on Dark and things like that. He might have been on Dynamite itself, but I don't know if he's signed or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see you said you were in the Battle Royal, some of the Battle Royals. Did you ever get a chance to get wrestling training? Did they make you get training before you did that stuff?
No, so usually what would happen is they would, ahead of time, hey, you're going to be added to the Battle Royal, and then they would just kind of go over, because I was never like properly trained, but they would because I would show up before the show, to get everybody's information, whatever. So if there was guys warming up in the ring and they told me I was going to be involved somehow, they'd walk me through it. It was nothing extensive, so they basically told me how to kind of get myself over the top rope. But I was never formally trained. No. Shots to the head, no bumps or anything like that.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, just wondering. I wonder if he was trained. You're right.
No.
Ring announcers really don't do much.
I know some previews. Yeah, I know. I was at a show one time and their ring announcer got attacked halfway through the show, but I think he was a student. He was training at the school, and I think they didn't have a permanent ring announcer, so they were just using one of the students. And he got attacked during one of the shows. I remember that.
All right, this is get the quiet time. Let's not make this dead air, as our old radio person that taught us. Let's have the fans ask some questions. Come on, guys, ask Jason some questions.
Anything about?
Yeah, we could talk about.
Yeah.
We talk about Ring of Honor, AEW, New Japan that happened this morning. So, anything. What do you think of the exploding?
What do I think of the exploding match? It was so good up until the end, but
that's what everybody says.
But kudos, AEW handled so well. So kudos to them on that, and also kudos to Eddie Kingston for selling it like a champ when he covered up Mox and the puff of smoke went off.
It was so bad.
He sold it like a champ. It was so good. It was so good. And
do you blame him though? I mean, do you blame him because it's he had to do what he was told?
Eddie did the right thing. He did the right thing. If he had reacted to what had happened, it would have made it even a bigger joke. So they did the right thing, and AEW did really well. And they took the criticism. But yeah,
but he was doing his job. Exactly.
Really good match up until the end.
Exactly. Even though it was a dud, right? But but yeah,
I don't know. I mean, what's with AEW and these bad finishes between the fake explosion and then when Jericho fell off the blood and guts, the camera angle they used.
Oh my god, that with the
could he used a different angle?
That was bad.
I mean, the angle they used, it looked like he just fell into a bunch of cardboard and pillows. You could use different angles, look like he landed safely. Obviously, I want him to land safely. I don't want him to get hurt, but you couldn't have had
a different
angle. Any angle anything would have been better than that.
It's kind of like the Dark Order and the punching thing from I think it was 2 years ago, where a lot of people criticized that, where they punched this way, like this.
I remember that. Yeah.
A lot of people were criticizing. They're well, you can't. Well, that was the cameraman's fault. That's not their fault. But anyway, But anyway,
Yeah, so I just hope that AEW. I just hope AEW is not getting the reputation of these bad finishes. Hopefully they can. Hopefully they can last all that.
Yeah. Well, I have another random question. Do you collect anything?
Do I collect anything? I used to collect wrestling figures a lot, like the Mattels. I don't so much anymore. I do a little bit. I collect Warriors, like the desk I'm sitting at right now. I have the Hall of Fame Ultimate Warrior, Old Man Ultimate Warrior. And then I do have some Funko Pops too. I collect Funko Pops. So again, I've got
I have
Cody
the Zack
Young
Ryder one
Bucks.
that got me for my birthday.
yeah,
Oh,
the Funko Pops. You got the Elite right there, right?
Yeah,
whole collection.
I do have Kenny. He's in the box. Kenny is signed. I do not have Kenny
Oh.
open, but
Yeah.
I do have the Bucks. Yeah,
you
I
should
have
make
Kenny
yourself
signed.
a ring. You should make yourself as a ring announcer, if you could. Would you do that?
I know. Totally. I know. I think if you go to the Funko headquarters, you can make like a custom one. And I know I've seen people before.
There's
That'd
a
be
place in
cool.
Queens
But
my brother
I don't know.
goes to that makes them. I don't know how much you charge, but I know they're in Queens.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
like I forgot the name of it. I have to get the name from my brother, and I'll text it to you. I'll text it to Lance, and I'll text it to Geeky. I'll send it to you. But they can make you a pop. They'll make you. They'll take
That's
other
pretty
pop
cool.
apart, and they'll make you. I was like, I was like, oh my god, we can make one of Being Geek. I'll make it like the back to back, like that. I would make it like that.
Yeah, definitely. And then, but like all my pop stuff is just in a tote. 'Cause like I said, I just recently finished my basement. That's what you see behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much stuff that I collect. I can't possibly do a.
Oh,
So
look
like,
who's in the
I'm a
chat.
big
Look
football
who's
fan. I'm
showing
a big
up.
Kansas City Chiefs fan.
You were talking about him earlier.
Favorite wrestler or wrestlers you've ever? The time. But I'll show you. I like Kansas City Chiefs stuff. So I have a telephone. I have one of my hats here. I'm a huge like that. That's probably the majority of my collection is my Chief stuff. But favorite wrestler I've met. Bucks are always awesome. I've met the Bucks a couple of times. They're always awesome. I really have never had a bad experience meeting people. Like I hear people talk about having bad experiences. I've had one kind of negative experience, and you're going to be surprised who my negative experience is with. Daniel Bryan.
Really?
One negative experience.
I
Yes.
met him.
I
met him. He's a super nice guy, though.
So I went to Ringside Fest. You guys know what Ringside Fest is?
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be there because that's in our name. So
Yeah, exactly. You should be there. So Ringside Collectibles does like a convention every year. It's really small. They host airlines on Broadway, and they bring in a couple of wrestlers. So one year they brought in Daniel Bryan, and it happened to be the year he had just won Money in the Bank. He didn't have. I don't think he had the briefcase with him, but he had just won Money in the Bank. So I met him. He signed my figure for me. I told him, I was like, hey, you like cashing in Money in the Bank. I hope you win. So he was like, oh, hey, thanks, man. And then like a while later, he was on Colt Cabana's podcast. Love Colt. He was on Cole's podcast, and he made a comment to Colt Cabana about how he hates when fans would say stuff like that to him. And I was instantly turned off. Like, what a jackass. I was like deeply offended by this, that he was like, yeah, I really don't like when fans tell me like, good luck winning the match or good luck cashing in the Money in the Bank. Yeah, okay, you know what? Fine. Screw off, Daniel Bryan. So ever since then, that
Have you
if I
had
had
the
to pick a
chance?
bad experience, it was that.
Have you had the chance to meet Okada or no? Good when he was in Madison Square Garden, or
I have no, I did not, and I know when the Elite did their first All In show, I know he wrestled there. A couple of my friends had gone to Chicago, met him, but I did not meet Okada. Like I
it
said,
was like $100 or something like that to meet Okada or something like that. So I was wondering if you spent no.
When I met Kenny, that wasn't cheap, but I knew it was going to be my only chance to meet Kenny, so I paid the money to meet Omega. I want to say, I think it might have been around $100. I got an autograph with him, and I took a picture with him, but I knew it might be my only chance to meet him, so I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. He hasn't really been around since, because now he's in AEW.
Yeah,
gotta do what you gotta do.
He wants to know if we could see Kenny in the box, if it's possible.
I might have a picture of it. It's tucked away in a giant tote with all of my other stuff because I'm a hoarder and I might have a picture of it. No guarantees on that though.
Yeah, it's funny when I looked at your Facebook or your Instagram, I said, man, he's a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm like, Geek, does he even live in? He may be in a different time zone, and then I find out you're a Long Island guy. So I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Because every wrestler we talk to, they're always like in a different time zone. So it's like,
well, Little Mean, we're getting a female wrestler from that wrestles in the Boston area. Her wrestling name is, where is she?
it's fine. He says it's fine if you can't show it though. But
she's Little Mean.
Sorry, I thought I had a
Kathleen. Little
Okay,
Mean Kathleen. Have you ever heard of her before?
No, I haven't.
There we go.
Okay. I thought I had a picture of it. I guess I don't.
This is her
I
picture.
Have to pull my stuff
Mean
out of storage to show off.
There she is. Little Mean. She's coming on our show. Little Mean Cat in July.
Oh, wow.
That's Little Mean. That looks like an ex-girlfriend of mine. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
What do you mean you can't come over tonight, man?
I'd say she's definitely living up to her name.
Now watch, I just name dropped her. She's gonna be like, "You were talking about me on the podcast." Yes, I was, Kathleen, and you're coming on our podcast. 2 minutes later, I'm canceling. Well,
So
that would be sad because
somebody in your comments had asked who my favorite wrestlers are, male and female. That was ever so spiffy. I don't know. Do you mean current or like old? Because current, my favorite wrestler is probably. I feel like they're very generic answers to the same as I think Britt Baker is awesome. The stuff she's doing in AEW is great. I really like obviously Kenny Omega. I think it was awesome. I was really a big fan of Drew McIntyre, and then he started winning the title a bunch, and I really don't like him anymore because everybody likes him. Because I was on the Drew McIntyre bandwagon years ago. You can ask Todd about that. Him and I, when I was in college, I had a radio show about wrestling, and Todd was on the Drew McIntyre bandwagon 12 years ago when he was the chosen one. And all. I was like, he should have been champion then. He got fired, and he was gone, and then he just absolutely tore up the independent scene. And then came back and won the title, and I was like, see, told you so. I called that. I also called MVP being world champion, and that never happened either. So
that should have happened.
I guess, it should have happened. MVP was on fire at one point, and he should have been world champion.
Definitely. There's a lot of people that were on fire that. There were a lot of people.
That belt would have been bedazzled with diamonds and all kinds of fun stuff on it.
There were a lot of people that were on fire that never got it. It's like Nakamura should have won the title at WrestleMania, and Asuka should have beat Charlotte.
Yeah, I was very surprised that didn't happen.
So
Yep. Oh well. But again, another example of WWE not knowing what the hell to do with talent.
Not giving fans what they want.
I always joke about people getting called up.
It's called down.
Yeah, I always joke that people don't want to get called. They don't want to get called down to the main roster. Exactly. Why do you think Johnny Gargano is still in NXT?
Adam Cole too. Adam Cole's another one.
Yeah.
You need to make that t-shirt.
Even without Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Adam's Bakery. You got to get your Adam's Rolls, baby. Gotta make that t-shirt. The front of like a bakery and it says Adam's Bakery, and it says sale Adam's Rolls, baby, 99 cents.
I was at Adam Cole's last pay-per-view appearance in the Ring of Honor.
Oh, we both.
That was. Yeah, I was there. It was against Tanahashi. That match was great. Adam Cole and Tanahashi, absolute classic match, very underrated match. But people are going to always remember the ending. Everybody knows what happened afterwards.
Yeah, with
that certain somebody. That certain somebody joined the Bullet Club, right?
Every club needs a villain.
Yeah. I was there. That place went nuts.
One of our friends,
I remember that.
He told us he's done some bad stuff, so he threw out every one of his villain every one of the stuff from that guy's stuff, he threw it away. He's done some bad things apparently.
I didn't throw it away. it is at the bottom. I have a tote of like wrestling t-shirts. It's at the bottom of the tote. It's gone. I didn't throw it away. Because then a homeless person would get stuck wearing it, and they don't need to wear that crap. And so
No.
it's at the bottom of the tote. It's gone.
I have his autograph, but then I barely look at autographs I have. I'm like, oh, there's an autograph. Oh, it's funny. I have one pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I have his autograph too, and I have all the times too.
It's somewhere amongst
Do I think Braun will go to AEW?
Probably.
Maybe not right away. Maybe. But see, then you start running into the problem of not everyone can go to AEW, so you find somewhere. I think he'll do really good in Impact. A good move. I can see him maybe in Impact.
Not everyone's going to AEW. I'm sorry.
Not everyone can go to AEW. And then, again, some AEW didn't know what to do with. Andrade, so happy he went to AEW. So happy. Love Andrade.
Kenta didn't go to AEW when they released him. He went back to New Japan. Everyone thought he was going to Noah.
Exactly.
But he was going to go to he went to New Japan, which was the biggest shocker. So, and he's never done New Japan before that. So, and he's really doing great in New Japan, by the way. So
yeah, I followed him a little bit. He's in Bullet Club, I think. He made an AEW appearance, didn't he?
He made one AEW appearance. He's like, I ain't here for you. I'm here for John Moxley.
Yep.
Everybody remembers that. But he said something like, fuck you. I'm here for John Moxley.
Oh, here, I got another random question that takes us away from wrestling, and Geek's going to get mad. Besides football, what other sport do you like?
So football is number one for me because my dad only really watched football growing up, so that's why that one's number one for me. But I do like baseball, and I do like hockey. I prefer watching those things in person. Football's really the only one I can stand watching on TV. I think all other sports on TV are boring. I'd rather go to the sporting event, but I guess, especially baseball on TV is really boring because baseball is such a long game. And then, hockey's fun, but I'm kind of all over the place. I don't really hate any sports particularly, but mainly all the major ones, football, baseball, hockey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember living on Long Island, I get a chance to go see the Islanders play a lot. And actually being where I used to grew up was Central Islip, and I got a chance to go walk down the street and go buy myself some nice Ducks tickets. As that story I told you before air, Father's Day, I go down and I'm like, Mom, I'm going to go buy some tickets for Dad and me. And she's like, all right, go. So I bought these tickets, and we walk in, we go sit on the third base side up in the stands, and this guy walks up to us, hey, you want to get a seat upgrade? And me and my dad are like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know anything about this, Dad. So we follow the guy down to this couch, and we sit down. It's about 99 degrees that day. The couch is chocolate brown. So my dad was buying his waters, I decided to get a strawberry daiquiri. So one of the best player Duck, I forgot his name, one of the big guy, he hits a foul ball back, and the ball goes over the roof. And the ball starts coming. I'm watching it come back. It's like Indiana Jones saw, like the rock coming over, and it's I can see it covering the sun, and I'm like, ooh, and it comes over, and I'm like, and Dad's like, Randy, I'm like, Dad, I got it. I'm calling, oh my God, I got it, and I'm like whatever that movie with the baseball, the kids no Sandlot. I was like, I got it. I caught the ball. It's in my room, sitting on top. I put the date and everything on it. Yeah, it was my fun. I loved going to Ducks Stadium. The thing I miss about being on Long Island, going to a Ducks game, hanging out, walking on the street to a Ducks game, making fun of Quacker Jack and have him second base in you.
Here's a good question.
I love Quacker Jack.
I love him too.
Here's a good question. Who do you think the future of the business is? Because a lot. Who do you think it is?
I think like some of these guys right now. I mean,
Could be AW, WWE, anyone.
some of these guys, I don't really know. Some guys that are like kind of on the coming up. That is a really good question. My gut reaction once, the guys we see now, Cody and Kenny, but they're not really that young.
Yeah.
So, but like, and then I'm trying to think of like some like the undercard guys.
Because WWE, you're not going to be. There's going to be no future for those guys, because a lot of those guys is probably going to be Brock.
No. I don't know. That is a really good question. Because I feel like everybody's, you feature all your top guys so much, you don't get the opportunity to see some of your lower card guys. I think, MJF is on the younger side. I think he's definitely got a huge future ahead of him. He'll double champion at some point. I'm surprised he hasn't been already. Another team from the Creative Pro School, the Acclaimed. I think they're on the up and up.
The Acclaimed is pretty good, actually. I like their raps when they come out. Those raps are classic when he comes out.
Their raps are pretty good.
I was telling Geek one time.
They're pretty good. So I think.
What's up?
Oh, sorry. Keep going. I messed up. I was telling Geek, I said, if we had the money, I'd put it. I'd split the money with you, Geek, and I'd have that guy from AEW make a rap about the show.
Yeah, he'd probably make fun of us though, right?
I wouldn't mind it. He'd be like, "This generation can't even get in the ring. Joe's a wussy. Has to hide behind a microphone like a little jerk, like a little kid. He's the size of a 9-year-old. He's just like makes Rey Mysterio look big.
Something to make fun of you, right?
Geek say Geek looks like Frankenstein. Look at them eyes."
But he does the greatest rap. Those disses right there, Max Kessler disses opponents.
Yeah, they're great.
And he could get away with it too. It's not like John Cena raps back in 2004. It's like the show's rated for TV 14.
Oh, I love those John Cena raps. The Doctor of Thugonomics. That was classic Cena.
He would go after Stephanie every time with the boobies.
Yeah. But
that was the good stuff.
But a lot of people have told me when I asked that question, a lot of people think Darby is the future of the business.
That's a really good one. See, I didn't even think of that.
A lot of people told me, they said, it's like Darby is money right there. He's money. So
he is. I could see him being a future world champion. Definitely. I'm very embarrassed myself that I didn't think of that one. That's a good one.
Because they say, well, he connects with the fans because with the face paint and everything like that, it comes out. They can market him like crazy.
All the crazy stuff he does. Yeah, all the crazy stuff he does, the abuse he does to himself. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
That's what I worried about with him sometimes, because sometimes when he does the coffin drop, I cringe because I'm like, maybe you shouldn't be
dropping.
He could mess that up and that be it, But Darby, Darby doesn't need to do the coffin drop to be over. He could, because he's over just with the face paint and everything. So, but
yeah,
definitely.
Anything else, or
here we go. I got one. If a kid walked up to you and said they wanted to get into the business, not be a wrestler, they want to be a ring announcer, what advice would you give them?
Like I said, I went to school broadcasting. I never thought I was going to be like a famous radio DJ or anything like that. So I think, just maybe some practice. I've always been not afraid of public speaking. I did morning announcement in elementary school when I was a kid. So if you're an outgoing person, you like to talk, I think, just practice, do your research, watch your favorite ring announcers, whether it be old school stuff with the Fink, Justin Roberts, Bobby Cruz, whoever your favorite ring announcer is, watch their stuff. Reach out to them and try and talk to them. I know I'd reached out to talk to JR one time on Twitter. I met Bobby Cruz. Talk to people, get to know people in the business, and definitely support your local indie is really the best thing that can happen to you. Because me going to NYWC, getting to know everybody there, and then realizing that, hey, I can take my love of public speaking, all that stuff, and combine it with this, my love of wrestling. That's really the best advice I can give is support your local indie, get to know them, put the work in. I had the Ducks gig first. That came before NYWC, and I think that kind of helped me the leg up because they knew that I was not just some punk kid off the street. I was legit. So I think just practice, believe in yourself. If you like public speaking, if you're not afraid to talk in public, and if you like wrestling, support your local indie fit. Because you never know. I mean, when I started my petition, Larry Legend was there. He was, all high and mighty, and I never thought my day would come. I didn't even start the petition to be the regular guy. I just wanted to be like the backup, or even the backup to the backup. I just wanted to be noticed. And I got noticed, and I got to back up Larry, and then I became the guy. So, yeah. You never know.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I got, Geegan.
I got one more, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
What's your favorite tag team match of all time? You'd say.
Favorite tag team match of all time. I did really like.
It's not the Young Bucks.
The Hardy Boys. It is the Young Bucks match. It was Young Bucks and Hardy Boys. It was at a House of Hardcore show, and the reason I'm picking is because it was the first time I saw the Young Bucks wrestle in person. And knowing a little bit about them, I didn't meet them at that show because I really didn't know that much about them at the time. Like I had heard of them and I'd seen a little bit of their stuff, and they wrestled the Hardy Boys, and they came out to Mbop, and I was just floored. They came out to Mbop, and I was like, who are these guys? And they put on a clinic with the Hardy Boys at the ECW arena. It was actually on my birthday.
That's crazy.
My friends had gone. It was the first time I ever saw them wrestle live. And then years later, at a House of Hardcore show, they were selling the DVD, and I bought the DVD, and now I have it. And that's probably my favorite tag match, just because it was the first time I saw the Bucks. They faced the Hardy Boys. It was an awesome match, and they came to Mbop. What's not to like? And I got a too sweet.
I remember seeing the Bucks. I think it was supposed to be the Bucks against Daniels, Kazarian, and who else was it? It's supposed to be the Bucks against Daniels, Kazarian, and Scorpio. And I think there was supposed to be another guy in there. They couldn't make it. So I think it was supposed to be Shane. What's his name? The big guy. Shane. But they couldn't make it. SCU couldn't make it, so they had the Kingdom replace them. Joe remembers this show.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
This was I think it was an Ultimate Endorse match.
Thunder Pete got you.
Oh, great.
Ooh.
You finally put a photo up, didn't you?
Meme Mania has a question.
No, wait, I was going to say, he did a moonsault. Adam Page did a moonsault off the balcony. I don't know if anybody remembers this. At the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yes.
Were you at that show?
Yes, I was there. I was at that Ring of Honor.
Was Todd
there?
At that
Ring of Honor show? Yeah, I was up row. I was. No, one of my other friends had invited me. He had tickets, and his friend dropped out, and we were like ringside for that show, and right near me, it was crazy. And moonsault off of the
balcony.
Yeah, that
right?
was when Hangman used to team with the Young Bucks. Yeah, Hangman used to team with the Bucks, and they were called the Hung Bucks.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
the 6-man team. Yeah, everybody remembers. Yeah,
I think I was there with you, and then I was also
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a great show though. But that match was great.
I don't think it was just like a regular like. I think it was just like a regular like Ring of Honor house show. I didn't think it was like TV or anything.
No, but it's on Honor Club though. You could watch it back on Honor Club, but. Everybody did a moonsault on that show, and I remember a certain somebody couldn't do a moonsault, and the crowd just started chanting for him to do a moonsault. He was scared to do it, and he did it. You know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to say names. Yeah, exactly. He was scared to do it, but I don't think he's ever done one, but he did.
I lost my voice that night when he did that. I came home like, Randy, it was great. What happened to your voice? I don't want to talk about it.
But I think he has a question.
That was Matt Bobby Cruz.
Yeah, that was a great show. Have you ever been to CZW? He's asking.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I have not been to CZW. I know a bunch of their guys came and worked for us at nywc, but again, like I was talking about earlier with Nick Gage, that style of wrestling really isn't my thing. I have, nothing against it. If that's your thing, hey, awesome. But I'm not into the whole trying to kill each other with light tubes, and I know they do tournament of death and all that stuff. That's not my cup of tea. But hey, more power to it. All the respect in the world if you are able to do anything like that. Go nuts. But I did meet a bunch of their guys come through, NYWC. Yeah. Great guys.
There's a female wrestler. Sorry, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I honestly, of all the time I've spent in NYWC, I have nothing bad to say about anybody. I know a lot of people sometimes are bitter and they hold grudges and they're like, I hate this person and this person was a dick backstage and stuff. I don't have any of that. I mean, they didn't have to welcome me in because, like I said, I was just some stupid kid with a petition. They didn't have to extend the olive branch to me and bring me into the family. But it really, like, if I called them tomorrow and was like, hey, when you guys are ready to come back, I'll be there. I know they'd pick up the call and they would welcome me back if I ever wanted to. And no, I never met Butcher. Didn't meet.
I know Ring of Honor does some shows.
Never met Butcher.
That was the one thing I asked the other guest we had, Stockade, the last show. If NYWC called you and said, "Oh, when the next show back, we're gonna have a surprise and we're gonna bring back the old crew on the set," would you come in and jump and take the announcer's microphone and say, "This is my job"? And like, would you do it for one night only?
I don't know. For one night only, I'd come back for one night only. Yeah, I would do it. I know sometimes what would happen is if they didn't know who their ring announcer, because they had a couple of us on staff. There was me, there's another guy named Andy, there was another guy named Harry, and we had Larry. So it was like four of us. So sometimes they wouldn't know which announcer was going to show up that night. So sometimes if multiple announcers showed up, we do like a little bit at the beginning of the show where one of us would come out, start the show, and the second announcer would come out, interrupt him, be like, no, I'm the announcer. And then another one would come out, and I'd be like, no, I'm the announcer. And we would like start arguing. So that was always a lot of fun. But yeah, to answer your question, if they called me, I'd be there. Yeah. I'd
Jason, if it was, do you ever do comment?
One night only.
That'd be hilarious.
No, go ahead.
Did you ever do commentating or?
I did once. So NYWC had wanted to do DVDs, and my friend was the camera guy for a while. He's not anymore, but he was at the time. So they were like exploring the option of DVDs. So I did commentary. I have one of only 2 existing copies of this show's DVD with my horrible, horrible commentary. It is not good. It's not easy. It's way easier to be the ring announcer. To do commentary on an entire show, it was bad. It was not good. And like I said, I have one of 2 copies of this DVD exists, and nobody will ever see it. Todd hasn't even seen it. Nobody will.
Show Todd.
It's sad to say this. I go to all these NYWC shows, and I was such that fan that just had the money to get through the door. I never, ever, ever got myself an NYWC t-shirt. I just had $20 to get the 10 or 12, whatever, $10 to get in the gate, and I'd never get it. When Mikey was there, I knew Mikey loves dragons, so I wore my Janko t-shirt. And I told this.
Those dragon t-shirts.
Yes, it was like the shirt, the dragon went from the front to the back. It was a Janko long sleeve shirt, and I wore it. And I knew Damien would freak out when Mikey would freak out. So he was walking in. I'm like, "Hey, Mikey, what's up, buddy?" He's like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, oh, I like your t-shirt." And I was like, "I'll give it to you. I'll trade you a shirt." And he goes, I even pulled it. I didn't pull it. I just had it like I had it like I was gonna pull it off. He was like, He's like, I would see. You don't have a shirt under that. We can't let you in the building without a shirt on. So it was like the Oakdale with the Deer Park Center. He said, I take it, but we can't take the chance you're going to walk in without a shirt on. So sorry, can't. I won't take it. He's the whole shirt. Oh man, if he had a shirt under the shirt, I'd take it. I was like, oh, go Geek.
Did you ever go to the shows when Ring of Honor was in the NYWC arena or no?
Yeah.
No, you haven't gone to any of those shows?
I really didn't want to see him. Like I said, no.
I remember
another company, Fibro Wrestling, ran, and I went to next. They asked me. I got to work with Joel Gertner on that show. That was cool. Remember Joel Gertner from ECW? I got to work with him. That was cool for that show. Mm. But Joe, I want to ask you. You asked Stockade if he'd come back for one night only. What did he say? I'm interested to know.
He said never say never.
Yeah, never say never. I think that's what he said.
That's what he said. He's like,
yep, that's the wrestling business, baby. Never say never.
He's like, oh, that's all he told us. He gave us that answer. I'm like, that's a great answer right there. It's like never say never. He didn't want to tell us that he was coming back, but he didn't want to tell us he wasn't. So,
and he also changed his wrestling name. I don't know if you know that. It's Cade now.
Cade, yeah.
And he dropped the stock because a bunch of weight. So.
Yeah. He told us a story on there, so
good for him though.
He looks good he looks really good. And the training he said he's going through, I was like, bravo, big guy, bravo. And I'm an athlete. I do swimming, I do bowling, and I'm like, bravo, man, bravo to that. That's awesome.
What's the most you ever traveled to see a show?
The most I traveled to see a show was when I went to Miami for WrestleMania 28.
Yeah.
Probably the Miami show, WrestleMania 28. I flew, so
yeah,
that's not bad. So yeah, WrestleMania 28. Yep.
Does anyone else have any questions for Jason, or that's it? Joe?
Yeah. I'm done. I have nothing else.
None?
Just thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Jason, hey guys, you want to plug anything?
Thank you so much. And I guess, like I said, support your indies, especially the one I came to, nywcwrestling.com. They have a YouTube channel. They have really good content here during the pandemic. Some kind of tournament. They've been posting some other content. Definitely check them out if you're from the New York area. Even if you're not, support your local indie. If you don't know where your local indie is, throw it in your Google machine. Find out. Support your local I'll plug that. They have a Pro Wrestling Tees store. It's prowrestlingtees.com/nywc wrestling. You can support them there. You can follow me on my social media. I'm at linnick across the board, both Instagram and Twitter. Do the ringside post I put out the other day. You can find me there. I don't talk wrestling too much, a little bit here and there. It's mostly just pictures of me, football, my kids, things like that. But hey, guys, this was a lot of fun. I haven't talked about NYWC in a really long time, so this was really cool. I said to my wife before I came out to this that I was really excited to talk about this because it seems like so long ago in my life and it's a really cool piece of history that I'm really proud of. I'll always be part of the NYWC family. And like Joe the Panther was saying just a minute ago, if they ever picked up the phone and said, "Hey, would you come back for us?" I'd come back.
Yeah,
I would mark out. Oh my God, he was on our show.
I think a lot of people would be really surprised to see that. Yeah.
It's funny. I actually called the number that's on the Instagram page for NYWC, and they didn't even call me back because this series came up randomly because Geek told me you're coming on the show, and then Dickie was for Friday, and I was like, and then Saki was like the Friday before, and I said, you know what, Geek, I'm gonna call this NYWC week.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're two NYWC fans, so it kind of fits.
It was random, and then July is Damien's coming back on the show. So
and his stories, I can't
awesome.
wait.
I think if you guys just search all over social media, there's so many NYWC's guys out there. At one point in time, I had a video kind of podcast like you guys do right now, Live Wire, and I would have some of the guys come on. We talk about the results of the show and things coming up. So I think if you just reach out to some of the guys that are out there, they'd come on. There's a really good following. They really do. Fans are great. Wrestlers are all great.
We
all
love,
good stuff.
as I always say, like you said, support your local. Go and buy a random. It doesn't have to be NYWC, but it'd be nice if you did that for NYWC. Right now, they're just doing online shows, and they need the fans. They need you to buy the merch, like buy shirts,
Yeah.
buy a hat, buy
Exactly.
a hat,
Exactly.
buy a sticker. I won't buy stickers anymore. Stickers or pins or whatever you got.
Shirts.
Buy it. Yeah,
shirts, hats, stickers, pins, whatever. When you see your local indie feds come back in business, show up, show your support, because this is where your guys come from. This is where your Sasha Bankses and Baileys and all these people come from. They started here at your VFWs and gymnasiums and whatever else. Go support them, because then you can say, I knew them when. You know how many guys on TV now that I've worked with and that I can be like, hey, I knew when? Tony Nese, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Milk Chocolate. The list goes on and on. It's such a cool feeling to be like, I knew these guys when. So don't miss out on that if you have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming on the show, Jason. All right.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much, man.
Take care.
Again, thank you guys so much for having me. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Take care.
That was
Wow.
awesome.
That was a great interview.
Awesome.
That was a great. So
I hope we
Joe,
got that announcement thing for us. That would be kind of cool.
Joe,
We're
you
gonna
want to
have. Oh, you want to say anything? Geek, say goodbye, Geek.
All right. I just want to thank everybody for coming on the show tonight. Thank everybody, for choosing us over Raw, which is always a great thing. And I just want to say, you don't have to, but you could always donate to us at http://streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. The little court thing on the bottom. Joe's pointing. Yeah. All right. For those that don't see us on Spotify, http://streamlabs.com. Thank you so much for everybody.
And I got to also say thank you to my grandfather, thank you to my cousin, thank you for my family for lighting the way for all Latino wrestlers. And oh wait, Geek, who's our guest on Friday?
Friday, it's Dickie Rods.
And play the video.
You want to play the video?
Who's the guest on Friday?
Hey guys, this is Dickie Rods from the NYWC, and you're watching and listening to the Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe Panther Jr. Enjoy.
That was in the video, but okay.
All right. So, but thank you, everybody. So, all right. Have a good one.